Nothing keeps a country united. Nothing keeps a country peaceful more than justice. I have always said that throughout history, the history of man, though unity is non-negotiable, what a historical fallacy. Exhibition of
Allow me to
Ladies and gentlemen, the idea of rotation from north and south is a historical imperative. It is what is non-negotiable and non-Nigerian unity.
Okay.
Nigerian unity came about through negotiation. In fact, I've been staying alive through negotiation. It is indeed a sign of total abandonment, of acknowledgement of history, to assert authoritatively with impudence and impudence that Nigerian unity is not negotiable. My brothers and sisters, fellow Nigerians, call for self-determination is not secession. Call for self-determination within a federation is actually restructuring or devolution of power or decentralization, name it anything. In complex societies, multinational societies, is a continuous imperative. Nations, multinational nations are dynamic. And they follow what God offers them, what nature offers them. They follow changes. The evolution of Nigeria today calls for devolution of power. It calls for continuation of a time-honored tradition of rotation of north and south. People should stop speaking with impunity and impudence, with air of authority. Nobody owns Nigeria. We all own Nigeria.
Good talk. Good talk. Good talk.
Gentlemen and ladies, Nigeria is awake. For those who think that they can continue living in illusion and self-illusion, for that matter, and delusion and in denial.
People are playing on ethnic sentiments to abuse the treasury. And let me give two simple examples of how emotions are overcoming our ability to understand our problems. We've been talking about headsmen creating problems everywhere. I give an example just put forward by a man who was chief economic advisor to our president only recently, Dr. Tanimu Yakubu. He served as commissioner in Katsina State. When he got to the job, he found that the biggest problem Katsina State had to do with fertilizers. Fertilizers were sucking life out of the budget of Katsina State. So he set up a little study, commissioned consultants. Farmers, what's your biggest problem? Fertilizers came to 13 in the listing. Number one was desert encroachment. What is the biggest cause of desert encroachment? Open grazing. So 20 years ago, the government of Katsina State, not the government of Enugu State, realized that the biggest problem before them was open grazing. But today, people are emotionally using it to curry whatever political power they want for their self-interest, arguing against the interest of the people they are purportedly trying to reject. I have made this argument again on the subject of what makes people angry about restructuring, which is revenue allocation. I don't have the time to go into local governments, how there were twice as many, two times as many in the south as they were in the North in the 60s. But once local governments became part of the fiscal transfer system, people who had power cornered so much, every village they had became a local government. Now we have 774 local governments in our country. A bulk of it belongs to a part of the country, but that part of the country has gotten poorer steadily.
There is no doubt whatsoever that Nigeria is presently faced with critical threats of imminent second civil war and forceful political breakup, and perhaps even more. Indicators could be seen in part in the scale of banditry going on in the country, in the unprecedented level of kidnapping and destruction of government properties as being witnessed presently this, and of course, the strident voices for secession. When the foregoing and many others that we have not mentioned here, are put into consideration, there could not be any controversy that Nigeria is indeed on the precipice. Unfortunately, however, the military dominated by non-Muslims incursion into the political arena in 1966 scuttled the constitution and introduced a military unity constitution. Since then, we have not got our bearing. The great 1999 constitution, the present 1999 constitution, is tilted in favor of the North against the South. It arbitrarily creates more states and local government in the North than the South, and based on this fraud, prescribes sumptuous monthly financial allocation to the states that produce the very little, if at all, and while those who produce more get only a bit. Let me stay here again for emphasis and clarity that the creation of states and local government in area was not based on the principle of equity, justice, fair pay. For example, against the demographic norms, the North, with enormous areas of unoccupied arid land, is said to be more in population than the South. It is only in Nigeria that the no rule in geography all over the world, that the nearer the desert, the fewer the population is obeyed in the reverse, with the North claiming a population that cannot be physically verified, except we are going to count the cows and the cattle in the area. This forced population is used to give more political representation in the legislative chambers, where decisions affecting the whole country are taken. Also, and in a manner suffused with impunity, Kano State, which was created in 1967, and with the identical population with Lagos State, created on the same date and time, now has 77 local governments, with Lagos State still paddled with only 20 local government areas. Also, this obnoxious constitution, the governors, also in this obnoxious constitution, the governors are described as the chief security officers of their respective states, but all the apparatus of security are vested in the federal government, thus making it impossible for the governors described as the chief security officer to be able to deploy the personnel of any of the security agencies. It is the firm contention of Afenifere that 1999 Constitution is a fraud.
It is a fraud.
Islamu says, we the people of the Federal Republic. The question is, did we make the Constitution?
No.
Are we federal No. And with the number of constitutional and international lawyers in this country is blessed with. President Buhari now asks us to amend a constitution we never make. And to make logic stand on its head, the amendment is to be made by the National Assembly, which is a beneficiary of the fraudulent constitution. Afẹ́nifẹ́re believes country needs a brand new constitution, agreed to by all the nationalities in the country. Yes. If a new constitution is made on the basis of true federalism, there will be no more agitation for Biafra. There will be no more agitation for Sudan Republic and other self-determination groups, because what gave back to their agitations will have been taken care of. So we are calling on all those who are supporting President Muhammadu Buhari to persuade him to let us change the constitution to what we call our own constitution, a constitution that prescribes genuine and true federalism that enhances a restructured Nigeria. If this is done, his name will be written in gold.
We have been pushed to the edge. The policies of this government over the last 5 years, which has resulted in nothing but carnage, killing, mass murder, ethnic cleansing of our people, has pushed us to the edge. There's no way of sugarcoating that. People feel aggrieved, wounded, hurt. People feel as if they are slaves. People feel as if they don't matter. They're second and third class citizens. And I might add, it is not just the people of the South that feel this. It is not just the people of the Middle Belt that feel this. There are millions in the core North itself that feel this as well. Zamfara State, over 300 people killed per day up until very recently. Other parts of the North, Northeast, Northwest is on fire. The other day in Zamfara, an emir's palace was burnt to the ground simply because the people were fed up that they were being slaughtered by mainly foreign Fulani terrorists. I will not dignify them by calling them Fulani herdsmen. I will call these foreign barbarians that have come to kill our people in the core North, in the Middle Belt, in the forests and the streets of the Southwest, in the Southeast, in the South-South. I will call them Fulani, foreign Fulani terrorists. That is what they are. That is what they do. In some parts they call them bandits. In others they call them herdsmen. I call them terrorists. And they are terrorists fighting against the Nigerian state. And whatever it is you feel about Nigeria, whether you're an integrationist and you believe in Nigeria and you're entitled to that view, or whether you believe in restructuring, a great view, or whether you believe in separation or whatever it is, at the end of the day, we must remember this, that as at today, we are first and foremost Nigerians. And it is incumbent on every single one of us to stand against the foreign threat. Hundreds of thousands of them come through our borders as a consequence of the weakness of this government. They come through our borders and slaughter our people. They slaughter the people in the Southeast. Just look at what is happening there. Up until today, this nation, which has its own challenges, has not seen fit to apologize to those people for what we did to them in the Civil War. And I make no apology for holding that point of view. Where you have over 3 to 5 million people slaughtered in the space of 3 years, 1 million of them children. Where a young Jewish boy called Bruce Mayrock in New York City burns himself alive in front of the United Nations building simply because he saw what was happening to the Biafrans during the Civil War, what we did to them. Where you have a man like Steve Jobs, the man that founded Apple, or the last CEO of Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world, renouncing his Christian faith simply because of what he saw happening in Biafra. And where you have a man like Bernard Kouchner, who was the foreign minister of France up until not too long ago, a few years ago, who was actually here during the Civil War, working for the Red Cross. And he said from what he saw, as a consequence of what he saw in that war, He resigned from the Red Cross, set up Médecins Sans Frontières, and he now established that organization, which is the biggest organization in wartime, for wartime casualties in the world today. People don't know this, and yet here we are as Nigerians, hoping for things to be better, and yet we refuse to acknowledge what we did. Well, that blood is everywhere now. I'm sorry if I've said things that may sound offensive, if I've said things that may not be too nice, if I've said things that are not making people comfortable here today. But that blood is being spread everywhere now, and we've learned nothing. Because here we are today, bombing the forests of the southeast with our Air Force, killing young people, simply because they want to exercise their right of self-determination, or better still, they're calling for a referendum. Here we are in the southwest, allowing foreign Fulanis to flood our forests and slaughter our people morning, day, and night. The leader of Afenifere, the beloved Afenifere, who we all belong to as Yoruba people, our leader, our past leader, Baba Fasoroti, his own daughter was slaughtered. We've had our traditional rulers slaughtered. We've had our children slaughtered, our women raped, our farms taken over. That is what we have experienced. And we speak from a position of rage. If our elders and our leaders speak in a peaceful tone, it's because they're civilized men. And it's because they believe in the power of restraint. And they believe in order. And they don't want war. But the young men are angry. Very, very angry. And it's not just the Southwest. Look at the Niger Delta. But the bottom line is this. The philosophy and the belief that this can go on and nothing will happen is one that has no basis, has no rationality, has no decency, and has no sanity. Because it will go on and it will take us into a situation that none of us wish to be in.
I am a Hausa man. I'm from Kaduna State by birth. My father is from Kaduna, my mother is from Jigawa. My father was a soldier, he was shot 3 times during the Civil War. I served in the army for 18 years and left. My wife, the mother of my children, was a daughter of a soldier. My children, I have 2 of my kids in the army. My first daughter is married to a soldier. So I have the military running in me. So for those thinking it is easy for you to go either way, or to just, Nigeria is not, my mind is not Akara. For anybody to think that you can just put it on the table and separate and share, okay, you take your own, you take your own, you take your own and go. It's impossible. It has never been done like that. Go back to history of countries that part away from South Korea, or rather from Korea, breaking to South and North Korea, to the Western and Eastern Germany, to common here, Cameroon, that you have the English and the French part that are trying to go away. You know what is going on. So for anybody to be calling for war, or you think you can just separate, it's not easy. I believe in Nigeria. I believe Nigeria will continue to exist. Whether we like it or not, there is a problem. We need to discuss the problem. We are disagreeing with ourselves, and we have every reason to disagree. The North, before now, is saying we don't believe in separation. But as I'm standing, I'm telling you that if there's going to be separation tomorrow, the North is ready for it. We are also ready. Let's go our either ways. And I'm telling you this with all sincerity. Northern Nigeria before now do not want to hear anything separation. But as of today, as I speak to you, the North is equally ready to live. That is number one. Number two, talking about presidency. What I'm going to say might be controversial. You might disagree with it, but it's the absolute reality, and I'm speaking the mind of Northerners. And I have no apology to anybody in this hall on what I'm going to say, though I respect the leaders, elders, and fathers that are here. I duly respect them. But I have no apology to anybody on what I'm going to say. Let's please be serious. We are here for a serious business. Let us not make it a discussion floor if we truly want to do this. Now, talking about rotational presidency, what I thought we should be looking at is credibility, competency, patriotism, nationalistic thinking, the love for one another, and things like that. That is what I thought should constitute who becomes Nigeria's president. Not regional, tribal, ethnical, or any other thing. Please disagree with me, but I will speak. This is why we are here. This is why we are here. Good. Let us discuss the controversy and let us find a solution to the problem.
Please allow him. Somebody has his opinion. You have your opinion.
This is why we are here. If you disagree with me, come up and give your position. This is my position. This is the position of Northern Nigeria. So if you disagree, make your position known. Now, let us look at competency, credibility, patriotism, the love for the country to move Nigeria forward. Yes, we should create, there should be a room for discussion. Call it national conference, call it restructuring, call it whatever. I agree that we should come to a round table and discuss Nigeria and discuss the way forward for Nigeria. I agree that we are disagreeing. I agree that there's a problem. I agree that there is, if you like, call it lopsided appointment. I am not in government, so I don't speak for the government. I speak for North. I don't speak for Buhari. If Buhari is doing something wrong, Nigeria should call his attention that what he's doing is wrong. He should correct it. He's a Nigerian. He's a leader. He is elected by every Nigerian. But not a particular tribe or region be seen as a threat to a country. If one region or tribe or religion is a threat to this country, then all of us are threatening Nigeria, and we are all threat to Nigeria. Then let us come and discuss the problem, find the solution to the problem, and let's move forward as Nigerians. That was why I tried to bring something. I said, I am the victim. I tried to highlight. My wife, the mother of my children, is from Imbise in Imo State. So, and today we have 7 children. So you tell me, if this country go either way, how am I going to do with those 7 children? Which way are they going? Are they going to the north or they are going to the east?